Welcome everybody to the TeenSpace podcast, a teen commentary about anything that piques our interest. I'm here today with my co-host Victor.
What's up?
So, one thing I want to kind of cover today is what kind of shows you were really interested growing up, because that's something that I've always kind of never had the time to talk to with people. Growing up, I was always a big nostalgia person. I liked talking about things that kind of got me going from my childhood, like for instance, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, things like that, where the content then was a little more far-fetched and dark, but it was still fun. So for you, what was the one thing that you used to like growing up, or what were the several things that kind of helped your childhood become as great as it was?
Most of the things I enjoyed when I was in my childhood were Scooby-Doo, Power Rangers, Digimon, back when it's, prime time, before Pokemon started taking over.
Pokemon was a real thrill ride for the most part, but growing up, I did like Power Rangers. I was really interested in the concept of Power Rangers with SPD, Jungle Force, and that one about the witches and wizards. I forgot. I think it was Mystic Force. Yes. It kind of felt like a redo of Harry Potter to some extent, but it was really fun. It was really fun,
flashy.
though.
Just serious.
What did get you into Power Rangers growing up, though?
I guess it was just people fighting monsters. And, I don't know, just the idea of, having the power and just knowing that you would do the right thing instead of just letting it get to your head and just be like, I can do whatever I want.
It was kind of ironic, though, because the Red Ranger is the leader of the pact. I think that the majority of the Red leaders were good, but I think that the very original Power Rangers, when I first saw it, even though it was a rerun for that matter, I used to like the Green Ranger because he was a very philosophical guy, and he kind of kept the spirit between everybody. And I used to like that one thing in the intro.
Are you talking about the Mighty Morphin?
No, I believe it was the very first air of.
It's Mighty Morphin.
Oh, it is Mighty Morphin?
Yeah, because the thing about Mighty Morphin is that once the Green Ranger came in and the White Ranger, he kind of became like the go-to leader instead of the Red. The Red became like second in command.
One thing that really kind of got my interest about the show is the intro to the whole thing. Remember when they had that one hologram of that one bald guy? And my favorite line from from the show in general, just in the show, that intro when he says assemble a team with kids with attitude or something like that.
I'm like, are you sure that's a good idea?
Yeah, you're putting the world is at stake, and you're putting the world's safety and the world's well needs into a group of teens with attitude who are undergoing high school and still going on the ideas.
Puberty.
Yeah, just things like that. You have teens who don't necessarily know their way yet, and you're expecting them to.
Yeah, they're like rebels, dude.
Yeah, a lot of them were. And there was one in particular that I kind of was rooting for, the Blue Ranger. Remember him?
Oh, what's his name?
He had glasses, had long, I think, black, brown hair-ish.
Like light brown, like dirty brown or blonde or something like that.
Yeah, Power Rangers from then on just kind of grew, and it kind of dawned on me that it was gonna get better and better, but it kind of did have a drop off after 2010, and therefore.
Yeah. I think I stopped losing interest was would have been.
Mine was right around Jungle Fury.
Yeah, same. Because after that, I can't really remember anything after that I enjoyed. I mean, what was the most recent one before that one?
I think it was a mashup of all the different Power Rangers from back in the day, but I think it was something along with Samurais.
You mean RPM, Samurai, and Megaforce, along with Dino Charge and Ninja Steel?
Something along those lines, yeah.
And the latest one is Beast Morphers.
Yeah, the latest one is Beast Morphers actually, and kind of looked into that because it kind of got me curious, because I've actually seen the original Japanese version.
I heard it
called Super Sentai Ghostbusters.
I heard it got really hectic in the Japanese versions. It got cut. It was cut. The audio and the footage was a lot more raw than it was in the American dubs because of the censorship. But otherwise, it was still fun. And another show that kind of got me into a lot more, like the humor was a lot more gritty. I think the more gritty show that I ever watched growing up, it had to be between Tom and Jerry, Johnny Bravo, or I think the Jetsons. Johnny Bravo was one of those
You mean
shows.
the Jetsons?
The Jetsons, something like that. But Johnny Bravo was one of those shows where you had a character who was known as this big figure, this Chad. He could get, and he was basically this muscly figure that's the handsome blonde, tall, dark and blonde.
Greaser.
Yeah, he was basically the model. He was
Ideal
peak.
greaser.
He was the ideal man. But it was just funny how he went along doing everything. He was more of a comical figure than just a Chad. And when
Yeah,
we
try hard.
he really was. And it was really funny when we actually got to see the journey from when he was still young, when he was younger, and he was scrawny as a toothpick. He just the transformation he went through. It was just really hilarious going through it.
Yeah, for some reason he kept his chicken legs.
Oh, his legs were tiny. Yeah. I used to think if I grow up like that, I don't know what I would do. I would just be 90.
Top heavy.
I would be 80% upper body and 10%, 20% legs. That would look ridiculous.
Yeah, you'd be like a gorilla, man. You'd be walking on your hands and on your feet.
My question was how much. I always wondered how he made his hair stand up. When I first saw that, I thought, did he have a balloon for a head? What was that? And his chin was so big. I always wondered what was going on with that. Overall, just cartoons in general, TV shows, back when I was growing up, they were just really gritty. They were just really dark. They were kind of hectic. The humor was a lot more serious. But that was kind of what built up my personality. Just something that's a little more edgy, but it's something that's lighthearted. It's not to be taken seriously.
And the thing about old school cartoons and modern ones is that back then the old school cartoons would have their own unique art style, like the face structure, like you said, Johnny Bravo. Well, nowadays most of the face shapes are recycled, like with the Amazing World of Gumball. You know, Gumball's face shaped is similar to the Steven from Steven Universe. If you never noticed.
Yeah, I've noticed that. They've done that a lot, especially with superhero cartoons. There's a lot more CG, and because animation has progressed since then, it's a lot. It will recycle the older products, but because it works.
Yeah, and plus, and with the newer nowadays, it's more like vibrant.
It's much more pleasing aesthetically, and it brings in a wider audience. So. Though I don't necessarily find interest in some of the newer cartoons, it's good that it's pulling.
For example,
I just never got interested in the Steven Universe, but I respect it because it pulled in a much bigger audience. It was initially intended just for little kids, but it pulled in such a big audience from teens to those in their like early 20s. We had people who were diehard 90s
like
fans.
the original Teen Titans.
Yeah, people just got interested. I never liked Teen Titans Go though.
Yeah, that one kind of made me lose interest.
That's true.
Well, other than that, there wasn't really much else I could think of, but so I think we'll end it on there.
I agree.
All right, thank you for tuning into the TeenSpace podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good day. Bye.